lost the toss and was asked to take first strike by Australia in the first ODI International at Melbourne Cricket Ground in Australia. The West Indies went into the match with Athanaze, Greaves, Carty, Ope, Hodge, Chase, Aidan Walsh Jr., Romario Shepherd, Ford, Moti, and Thomas as they play in 11. Australia, on the other hand, went in with Ed, Inglis, Green, Smith, Labachane, Short, Hardy, Hubbard, Bartlett, Morris, and Zampa. The West Indies batting first opened with Greaves and Athanaze. Greaves in the second over of the match got a worldie from Barrett. It touched down just about middle stump and hit the top of off stump. I think it was a great delivery. Athanaze was bamboozled. After several in-swinger into his pad, one of which struck him and should have been given out, but instead was given not out. A few balls later, with the score on 17, he edged an outswinger and was gone. West Indies 17 for 2. Shea Ope, the reliable and dependable and highly rated West Indies captain, he flirted outside the off stump with one, a wide delivery that he should left alone and allow it to go through, but nicked off and his E2 was gone, caught at first slip. The score 37 for 3. Hodge came and he and Carty, who was looking increasingly impressive at the crease, playing nicely and lately, and countering the swing of Barrett. They seek to put a partnership together, but with the score on 59, Hodge got one from Green. He tried to hit it over the top and lob it to mid-on. West Indies were in trouble at 59 for 4. The much maligned Roston Chase came to the crease. I never had him in my 11, but Andre Douglas did, Bobby Brown did, and Basil Butcher did. They all had Chase in their playing 11. He and Carty set about rebuilding the West Indies innings, and they put on 110 runs for the 5th wicket. When Chase was on 59 in the 37th over, he got one from Zampa on leg stump. He went to play the sweep shot, probably catering for the turn, but it never turned. He was out bowled behind his leg, and West Indies have lost their 5th wicket with the score on 169 for 5. Chase making a well-played 59. That wicket falling in the 37th over, Aidan Walsh was promoted ahead of Romario Shepherd. And Ian Carty pushed the score up to 93. But on 93, strategy struck. Aidan Walsh played one straight directly to Sean Abbott at cover and set off for a single. The single was not on. Carty, who was not expecting the run, was also late to move, but it was clearly Aidan's fault. Carty should not have run. He should have allowed Aidan Walsh to be run out. But Carty went for the single. Abbott did not miss, and Carty went for a well-played 88. Shepherd got one delivery out leg before, and we were at that stage, we were 194 for 7. Although Aidan Walsh made 20 and Matthew Ford made 19, West Indies were bowled out for 231 after 48.4 overs. Yet again, West Indies failed to bat out their allotment of 50 overs in an ODI international. 231 was always going to be short. In my opinion, 100 runs short. Joining me today to discuss West Indies batting performance are Bobby Brown and Andre Billy. Andre apparently is having some issues with his Wi-Fi connection at this time. We do understand that, and whenever he can join us, we will welcome Andre Billy to assist us with the review of the West Indies ODI match versus Australia. Good morning, Bobby. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Brown. How you doing?
I'm great, man. Bobby, 231 all out in 48.4 overs. West Indies again failed to bat out their 50 overs. How would you describe that batting performance from the West Indies?
Shambolic at the top. The top order failed. Carty and Chase kind of held it down a bit. We normally very good in the back end, but we didn't have any power hitters today. So I think that's what in the end, I think we just power failure. We did not have enough power in the back, and we failed in the top order.
Okay. Looking at the dismissals of the batsmen, I have said in my introduction that Greaves got a worldly. I cannot blame Greaves for his dismissal. But do you think that Atanase played at a ball that he should not have played at?
Yeah, I think it was already outside the off stump. Even if he think it was an in-swinger, he should have just played in line. But I've seen that Atanase have a problem with swing. And that's something he should work on, especially if he's going to go to England.
Yes. Our captain, who so much is dependable on our captain, that is Shea Hope, when he bats in ODI cricket. He's one of the top ODI batsmen in the world, Bobby. Did he play that a one that he should not have played at also? He planted his foot, tried to hit the cover of the ball, but edged it straight to second slip.
Yeah, I think he just lost in concentration there. He really wanted to hit the cover of that one way over long off.
Yes. So we are joined by Andre Billy, and I hope he's hearing us loud and clear. Yeah, there seemed to be a little technical issue there, but we hope we have Andre Billy. But we are coming to him. Bobby, when Keacy Carty got run out, you were really upset. You have some very strong words to say when he got run out. Please tell us about that dismissal, Bobby. Please go ahead and express yourself. What were your thoughts?
I was really upset with Hayden Walsh because there was no need to take that run. It's the last ball of the over. You already got through the over. He was swinging at everything. You don't need to run him out. And some people will say, well, maybe Keacy Carty should have turned him back. But sometimes when you're already in the moment, the person just call you, it's just your reaction. So he just took off because Hayden Walsh just started to run. And, I felt it for Carty because 100 was on the card for him at the MCG. It would be a good thing for him.
Yes, 100 beckon. And I felt it too, Bobby. I'm telling you, I felt it. I was really hurt. He was batting so well. He was playing the ball so late. He seems to be the only one who was prepared for the swing. We heard before the match. Billy, are you here now? Are you hearing us, Billy? Billy don't seem to be hearing us at this time. If you are hearing us, Billy, you may come in at any time. Bobby, before the match, Captain Shea Hope and Darren Sammy, they said that they have planned a lot. They prepared. The planning was extensive. And again, I said, if you are hearing us, Billy, you may join. Clearly, he's not hearing us. He said that we had planned clearly. But the way the top order approached Bartlett in particularly, except for Keacy Carty, do you really think that the planning had any effect on those batsmen, or once they reached the middle, all the planning and the preparation went through the window?
Yeah, I think once they reached the middle, all the planning and preparation went through the middle, went away because normally Shea Hope is a good player of the swing ball. And when Hope went away, I felt it because Chase kind of held it down for us. But like you said, Greaves got a beauty. I don't think he could do anything about that. Maybe Atanase, maybe they plan, but maybe that's just something in Atane's game that he needs to work on. But yeah, like you said, maybe if they plan, this is something that they said Bartlett did a lot. He swings the ball a lot. So You know, I'm still wondering.
I look at Keacy Carty approach, Bobby, where you could clearly see that just as Bartlett was about to deliver, he glide across just to be about an off stump. And he knows that once that ball is outside his eye line, he's not going to play at it. I think that was a brilliant strategy that Carty was using. And I was asking myself, why the other batsmen didn't see what Carty was doing and adjust the same way? Because I got the impression that what Carty was doing was a part of the planning, but the other batsmen never executed. They talk about execution a lot, Bobby, but is there a mental challenge in this West Indies setup?
I think so. I think there's a mental challenge because Keacy Carty is somebody who really changes his game in match. I've seen that a lot with Keacy Carty in his short career. So I think, like you say, it's just something to do with their the mentality of them. Because I was wondering why they weren't even coming down the crease. They never do that. They never change anything. They just stick in the crease and try to just see it out. They never try to change their approach.
Are you hearing us now, Billy?
Yes, gentlemen, good morning. My apologies for that. I don't know why the internet decided to work against me this morning, but I found a solution.
Okay, that's very good. We are glad. And we are almost at the point where we finish reviewing the West Indies batting performance. So we are just going to ask, to give us your take on the West Indies batting performance last night.
Well, unfortunately, the word I'm going to have to use is, I hope I don't use too strong a language, but I really think the batting performance was very pathetic. Let's start at the top. When you look at Athanaze, I'm beginning to think that he's not going to make it as an opener with his current technique. He has an issue outside off stump. And whenever the ball moves a little bit, I find that he's playing the bat too far away from the body. He's not moving towards the delivery. Therefore, the bat is hanged out from the body and he's getting his outside edges real quickly. There is nothing superior about that ball that got him last night. It was an average delivery and a very bad shot. So I'm beginning to question him at the top of the order at this point. I'm not saying he can't improve, but I'm not liking what I'm seeing.
Okay, so what about the other batsmen? What about Ope? What about Greaves? What did you say?
Hope shot last night was pretty poor. As a senior batsman and the captain of the team, when your team in such a trouble at that point, what I expect Hope to do at that point is to grind it out. That delivery again, his feet was stuck to the crease, had a wild swing outside half stump, and at that point, I think that he was trying to build a partnership. You know what I mean? Hang around, get 3, 4 and over, take it down to the 25th over, and then you start to get attacking thereafter. As far as the other opener is concerned, the delivery that got him was really, really good. It was a really good delivery. I don't blame him any at all for that. But, the thing that I find most interesting last night is that Hayden Walsh move. What was that about?
Well, you tell us what you think it was about.
First of all, I've seen the coach do this so consistently. Like, when there are a certain number of overs that are left, he has a tendency to be pushing Ramari Shepherd down the order. But you cannot bring up an inferior batsman to bat more overs, and the superior batsman, you say them to bat less overs. That does not make sense to me. Who do you think is going to be able to negotiate more overs? A Hayden Walsh Jr. or a Ramari Shepherd? Obviously, Shepherd would. So we need to trust him, bring him up the order, allow him to bat in the position that we put him into bat. Even if he goes out there and attack and get a quick 40 or 30, it's still better than what Hayden Walsh did last night, because what Hayden Walsh did, he pretty much showed the innings. What he did, he ran out the set batsman. He could not rotate the strike, and the biggest mistake of all, he tried to take a run off the last ball of the over to face the next over when he was struggling the entire over. I don't know if any of you can explain that to me, but I don't understand that.
Bobby, as I said, Bobby, you had some strong views, and you'd have expressed yourself there. Bobby, how do you react to Walsh coming ahead of Shepherd? I personally do not necessarily have an issue with it, but I respect everyone's opinion, but I respect Andre's opinion. Bobby, your thoughts? And Walsh coming ahead of Shepherd?
I think they were just hiding Shepherd from Zamna. I think that's why they sent him.
But he handled spin well. The man can bat spin.
Sometimes he look a bit susceptible to leg spin, so maybe that's why. And they know that he's the only power hitter we have.
My view on it, as I said in my introductory, with 13 overs to go, the West Indies is using Shepherd as a finisher. And they want Shepherd to go to the crease with a clear thought process, a singular thought, just to beat the cover of the ball and get as many runs in a shorter time as possible. And so my view on it is that with 13 overs, Shepherd might caught in a two state of mind, whether he need to block and bat long or whether he just need to beat the cover of the ball. But I take Andre's point. I understand what he's saying, because 40 at number 7 out is the same thing as 40 batting down the bottom. So I take that point. But I'm just trying to rationalize why Walsh came ahead of Shepherd last night. Now, when Australia batted, in my opinion, as I said, 231 was always going to be short. It probably was about 100 runs short. Ford got the wicket of Ed in the very first over, caught behind for 4. But then Josh Inglis with a 65 from 43 deliveries, including 10 fours and 1 6. And Smith, who made 79 not out, and Cameron Green, who made 77 not out, 8 fours. Smith hitting 4 fours and 2 6s. Australia was always in control. Andre, I'm coming to you. Our bowling was steady, but lacks penetration. What could they have done differently in the bowling department? And
well, firstly, I will say that the level that was put on the field, I absolutely do not agree with that. I did not agree that Hayden Walsh should have come in ahead of Alzarri Joseph. I don't know if he's injured. I don't have any information. I don't know if you have gentlemen have anything differently. But if you look at the pitch takes space. It did not take spin all that well. If you look at Adam Zampa, who is a world-class bowler, he really didn't give our batters any problems last night. And then now you have Hayden Walsh, who had a pretty poor innings with the bat, contributed towards the run out of his teammate who was set and was ready to get 100. So you would understand that would play on his confidence. Our bowling was a little bit not penetrative enough. I thought Thomas did not bowl effectively. He was just too short and too wide at times. Therefore, he did not pose any challenge to the batsmen. So we needed our senior bowler, I thought, to set the tone in the first match. So as I said, I'm not sure why they did not play Joseph last night, but we need some penetrative bowlers to be able to set the tone at the top of the innings. Something like what Ford is doing. Consistent line and length, bowl and off stump, middle stump line, and let the batsmen play early rather than being wide or short and give them a free hit.
Bobby, Alzarri did not play in this match, and I believe that they are resting Alzarri, and he deserved that rest. We always have to manage the workload of Alzarri. He's an all-format player. But we really need him back for the second ODI. Thomas went at 8 runs per over. Ford was even more expensive at 9.25 runs per over. Only Shepherd bowled 4 overs, and I wonder why he only bowled 4 overs. He went for 3 point something less than 4. He was the only one that went under 5. We definitely need Joseph, probably Joseph times 2 in this West Indies bowling attack, Bobby.
Yeah, definitely in the future. We need both Josephs. We need that fusion. Thomas, I don't know what's happening to him. I think he looked like he was getting fit. I don't think he's fully fit because he was bowling under 140s. So I don't know what's happening to him, but we definitely need Joseph all the time. We don't know what we're going to do if Joseph or the other Joseph is not here, but we definitely miss Alzarri last night. I don't know why Shepherd only bowled, 4 overs?
Yes, only 4 overs.
I don't know why, and Shepherd is a senior bowler, so I still don't get it. He was the most economical bowler, so I don't know why he only bowled 4 overs. I think we went a spinner too much. Chase pretty much did what I think he would have done, kind of kept it a bit tight. He was there for his batting. Moti was tough. I think Moti did okay. So Alzarri definitely got to come back for Hayden Walsh.
Okay, sticking with you, Bobby. Do you get the impression that John Otti was Ain's veto selection, and that Obe and Sammy are not too keen on using John Otti. It's like he was forced upon them by Ains, but now that they are in charge, they are not picking him.
I think so. I don't think Sammy sees him in the squad. I think he's just really there for backup. And for me, I don't see how he can get into the squad either. Even with a depleted batting lineup. I mean, if he's not there in a depleted batting lineup, I don't think they really want him in the squad.
Okay, Andre, do you think that the West Indies need to make changes for the second match coming up Saturday night at Sydney? Or would you go in with the same team, being it was only the first match and you probably want the guys them to get another run?
Oh no, given that we're in a 3-match series, we have to make changes and we have to make it ASAP. I mean, as my co-host said, I'm sorry for Hayden at this moment, but his returns last night was really, really poor. I mean, his brain was totally shut off. As we talk about that single that he tried to take, he wasn't rotating the strike. He ran out the set batsman. When it came time for him to bowl, he was ineffective. So he really had a nothing game last night, unfortunately. But he has to be out for the next match. I'm definitely bringing back Alzari. O'Shane Thomas, we need to do some work on him, some serious work, because again, he has been around for a while now. I think he's a talented fast bowler, no doubt. But his line and length is just not effective at this point. I actually made a post in your group some time ago saying that I think he's more suited for Test cricket at this moment rather than ODI and T20. But when I look at the squad that we have there, we have no other fast bowler. So we don't really have an option at the moment but to keep him in. So one change for the next match, Hayden Walsh is out, Alzari comes in. Okay, and we're going to stick with the batting lineup.
All right. We failed to qualify for the World Cup, Bobby. Australia are the world champion. Would say that the big three fast bowlers are not there. Maxwell is not there. But Australia is still a formidable side. Are we expecting too much from this West Indies team here?
Not really. Because we could have been more competitive. So we're not really expecting too much from them. And like you said, the big three is not there. And I think they are the really ones we should worry about if they were here. So I think we could have done better than that, a bit more competitive, even if we don't win. But, give Australia a bit more fight.
Thank you very much. Now let's come to the comments, and please remember to slash a like on the video. Click on the subscribe button. So I will go through some of the comments. Arjun Sharma, good morning. Welcome to you. Arjun is saying that our bowling was not all good. Not practicing spot bowling is a big issue. Thomas is still not fit. Just another Cornwall. No strike rotation improvement. Always chopping and changes. How do you react to that comment, Andre?
I agree. I agree with Sharma 100%. Those comments are absolutely right there. We're not rotating a strike. Thomas, again, I'm not seeing that improvement that we're looking for a person who has been around for that long, play franchise cricket, play at a professional level. I mean, I'm expecting more from him at this point. He's a professional, and he needs to act like it. He needs to take personal responsibility for, one, his fitness, and two, also his performances. So I agree to you, Sharma.
All right, Bobby, another question from another comment here from Sharma. Considering the situation of the match last night, and we still did not batted out our allotment of overs. There were still a number of deliveries leave there. Is Sharma a bit too harsh on Carty by saying that Carty batted like Test match?
Yeah, way too harsh. I mean, Carty had to bat it like that. He started to accelerate his scoring rate. So, I mean, I can't fault him for that. No one else was staying at the crease with him other than Chase. And we see, even though they started slow and then they kind of up the tempo. So Carty was doing that.
Yes. And Glenn Campbell agree with you, because Glenn Campbell is saying that Carty innings was a world-class innings in any format barring T20 under the circumstances he faced. But Glenn Campbell, I think the first thing that you would have said this morning is to give Roston Chase credit. because credit is due when it is due. And cricket is a revolving thing. What a person did today, and you may criticize what he did today. If he did good tomorrow, you have to give him credit. So Glenn Campbell, I think the first thing that you would have done this morning is to give Chase credit, because you have repeatedly said that Chase cannot bat. That may well be so, but the fact that he scored 59 last night, you must give him credit for making the 59. Glenn Campbell is saying Australia would have been the laughing stock of the world again if they had allowed this West Indies bowling not even attack with only one recognized bowler, Moti, to cause them any concern. Do you think that this is a fair comment, Bobby? That Australia would have been the laughing stock of the world if West Indies beat them?
No, I don't think they would have been the laughing stock. I think that's probably a bit too much. But people would definitely be looking and asking questions, because their bowling attack is the next generation. I think for the big three strikers, everybody's in their 30s. So in a few years, these guys that are bowling now, they are going to be there for Australia. So people would just be asking questions, but I don't think people would be laughing.
Okay, please remember to smash a like on the video and click on the subscribe button. Clyde Sukanan is saying that West Indies always go into the game like them lost, and Ellery Armstrong, Walsh Jr. came in and ruined the momentum, especially getting Keacy, Carty run out. So Glenn Campbell is doubling down. He's not giving Chase any credit. He's just saying that Chase is just like his compatriot Carl Myers, one good innings every 12 outing, consistently inconsistent. Should Chase be given credit for the innings that he played last night, Andre?
Absolutely. When Chase came in, remember, we're in some trouble. He and Carty rotated the strike really well, and they begin to accelerate the innings as time goes on. He did an excellent job. I always has Chase in my level. I think Chase is a very good cricketer, highly underrated. I'm not sure why, but I hope that he can cement this number 6 spot, because I really think he has something to offer this team. So, Glenn, I think you're being a little bit tough there, in my opinion. I think he did a great job. Maybe the shot that he played at the time was a little bit ill-advised, but if you look at it, he was trying to attack the bowling to get the scoring going. So I really don't fault him for that. I think he had an excellent game. I will give him a high B+ for his effort last night.
Okay, thank you. Jake Glasgow is expressing the views that a number of us have expressed also, a number of individuals have expressed. He was very annoyed, just like most of us. Where are you, Bobby?
I was.
I know you really let go. You really got angry, and I know you felt the same way too. So, Jake, we do understand your feeling last night.
Jake. The thing that annoyed me the most, there was no reason for that. It's a 39 over. He already missed his chance because he got a free hit. He wasted. There was no need to do that.
Yes. I just saying, and this is something that we were discussing off the here yesterday, Bobby. Basil and you, Andre, we were discussing at the end of the show. And from what we were hearing yesterday, he has a genuine concern about the quality of the coaches in the region, because West Indies do employ coaches in the region. But the question yesterday was, what is the quality of these coaches? So he does has a concern there. So SA is saying that he glad he felt after Walsh running out Carty. Top of the morning to you, Mr. Casanova. And he would say that we got too much spin in the team in place like Australia. No real wicket taker. How you respond to that, Andre?
Yes, I agree. Our bowling was not penetrative at all, and then we have to keep stressing the point. I know we have to do workload management, but in a 3-match series, I just don't see the logics of leaving out your best bowler in the first match. The first match is what you used to set your tone. So if we were going to give Alzari a rest, I could not have given a rest in the first game. Again, maybe he has a little niggle, I don't know. But since I don't have that information, I'm not going to assume. I would not have brought in Hayden Walsh. We need our penetrative bowler to be out there and find an all cylinders in our first game. So I agree. Too spin heavy. Wasn't a turning wicket. I cannot justify the decision.
Bobby, Alan Bram is saying, this time last week we were all getting ready to celebrate in a few days' times. But he's saying that these guys now spoil it for us and bring us back down to earth. Were we expecting too much of this ODI team, or should we see a greater effort on their part?
Well, we need a greater effort on their part, definitely. Like I said, some of it is down to guys not being available for the team, because like I said, I think we're a batsman short. But like he said, we're back to reality. I wouldn't call them a bunch of failures, because the white ball team have been doing good.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bobby. Now, there's another match that is going on where West Indies youth team is playing in the World Cup. And they will need to win the match and hope that Sri Lanka lose to go through. It appears the match has been abandoned, so we would now need Sri Lanka to beat South Africa. Once Sri Lanka beats South Africa, the West Indies will go through. But if South Africa win that match, then West Indies will not go through. So we are depending now on Sri Lanka to beat South Africa in that match. Our match against Australia have been abandoned with West Indies 24 for 2, lightning and thunder and rain. So the under-19 team at the World Cup now is depending on Sri Lanka to beat South Africa. Why was Attlee picked to open, Bobby? We talked about that earlier. Let's hear Billy's view on it. What are your views, Billy, on Attlee position in the team?
All right, just before I get to Attlee, we're out of the under-19 World Cup. South Africa molded Sri Lanka, to say the least. So we're out. As it relates to Attlee, remember that selection was almost like what you call a default selection. We had a situation where we needed to draw on an opener, given that some of our guys had pulled out. And the next best thing that we could have found at the time was Attlee. So it's almost a default selection. But having said that, once you draft a person within your squad, you have to give them a fair opportunity to perform or to fail. He did not select himself, they selected him. So I think it's only right that we give an opportunity to go there and express himself. And remember, a lot of times we may make selections of somebody who we think that may not necessarily have the necessary capacity to perform. But they go out there and they surprise us. Case in point. Of course, Josie has some talent, but if you ask anybody, they were not expecting this. So age 34 in this day and age of cricket, 34 is not seen as that old. And I actually had it in my 11 last night instead of Cobb and Hodge. So I had him opening the batting, and I have Greaves batting at number 6. So we have to give him an opportunity.
Yeah, I too believe so, Bobby, and you'll agree with that. But Ian Conard, and welcome back to the show, Ian. Glad to see you here. He's from Trinidad. He expected a loss. Well, fair enough. I think the majority of the cricketing world expected it. We as West Indian fans were hoping for a better result, but we know that the gap between both teams are very wide. He thinks that the best team was not picked, Bobby, but that could be as a result of the availability of players. Some players turned down the opportunity to be in Australia. And he said something there, they only pick friends. But he's asking that just let the Super 50 guides our selection. React to those comments from Ian Conard from me, Bobby.
Well, I think that if he's going to say the best team was not picked, sure, Alzari. But out of Alzari, I don't see how Imlach, Teddy Bishop. I think Teddy Bishop is not ready yet. Or who else? Attlee. Maybe he's talking about Attlee, but he has to remember Greaves was scored the most amount of runs, right? Definitely as an opener. So Greaves definitely deserves his spot, unless you're gonna put Attlee and put Greaves down the order. But I don't think Attlee would have made a much difference.
Okay, Bobby, and this is for both of you gentlemen. going into the second match, what do you expect the strategies for the strategy from Summit to be? Bobby, you go first, and then I go to Andre.
Well, he's definitely gonna bring back in Alzari, if Alzari does not have an injury. So we'll definitely see Alzari coming back because we need him. I think he might look to bolster the batting, so maybe Utley or Bishop can get a chance. So I think he might do that because the most important thing, we need to bat out the 50 overs as well.
Yes, thank you, Bobby. How do you react to that now, Andre?
Yes, I agree. I definitely see Azar coming back for Hayden Walsh. As it relates to, if we're going to add an extra batsman, I mean that we're going to have to take out a bowl. I'm not sure who that would be at this moment. But when you look down the order, I mean, Ford, Moti, they can hold a straight bat. I think they just make some poor decision last night as it relates to the shots that they're making. So I think we need to just hold the top order batsmen a little bit more accountable. Ask them to rotate the strike a little bit more. If the going gets a little bit tough, focus on rotating the strike and taking off the singles rather than trying to hit yourself out of a trouble situation, and you give the lower order now people like a Shepherd an opportunity to come at the end and accelerate the innings. So I'm just seeing one change going forward, and I expect us to bat a little bit better. And somebody to anchor the innings. Maybe the captain, but we need an anchor of the innings.
All right. And look at that bowling. And we have Greaves, we have Kavim. I'm just saying, I'm here looking at a fifth bowler to get 10 overs from Greaves, Kavim Arch, Roston Chase. So I just think that we could have another batsman and take out a bowler. Apart from replacing Walsh with Alzari Joseph. So we'll have Joseph. Do we still need Ford, Thomas, Moti? Who is the next one? Shepherd. Do we still need all those four? Mean that we have Greaves, Hodge, and Chase, who between them can give us 10 or more overs. Do we still need all those bowlers, Bobby?
No, and especially they did not perform. So I think we could take out either Ford or Thomas. And Greaves, I think Greaves can give you a good 5 overs.
Yeah. What are your views, Andre?
Disagreeing with my co-host at the moment. I'm not agreeing with that because last night, if you look at it, we had all those bowlers and we were not effective with all those resources at our disposal. So I'm looking at it that if you cut that resource even shorter by adding another batsman, then what it is that you're doing is that you're taking out another option. So from my perspective, I would not make that change. I think that when you have like a Ford coming in at a number 8 and a Moti coming at number 9, I think that batting is good enough. They just need to take more accountability and try a little bit harder because Moti can hold a straight bat and Ford can hit a few balls. So I wouldn't shorten the bowling.
All right, I agree with you, but you said a word there, accountability. And sometimes, Andre, and I'm saying this, sometimes when you have help, you give up that accountability. And fewer bowlers will allow them to take greater responsibility because they know that they have to get the job done if there are fewer bowlers. But when there are so many bowlers, you probably pass on that responsibility. I'm just looking at it also from that psychological point of view. Fewer bowlers, it is better because you take responsibility.
And just one more thing regarding to Oshie Thomas. Like I said, he's the genuine fast bowler, but I think he can go because I was really disappointed with him. He looks like he put on more weight than the last time.
Yeah. That's a good point here. Good morning, Mrs. Cricket Forum. Mrs. Cricket Forum yelling out the panelists. Good morning. How are you, Miss? Yes.
Yeah, I've been cheering for Oshie for probably about 6 months now since the last time I saw him here in the US, and I thought he was gonna kick on and do better. But when I saw him last night batting, I couldn't believe.
Yeah. Yes. You know, Arjun, I got your point, but that is for another discussion. Don't really agree that Carty red ball numbers doesn't justify this selection in Test cricket, but that's for another discussion, another time. I just want to stay on topic here. And this is C. Fry Phillips. He's saying that the emergence of quality players produced by our coaches is pathetic. This is shown with the arrival of Joseph from Guyana. I don't quite understand the point here, but I don't know if any one of the panelists understand Shifra Phillips' point. Do you understand it, Billy?
No, I'm not understanding that at all. I don't agree with that. Every now and then, you can have a situation where a player does spring out of nowhere. I mean, remember the case of Fidel Edwards some years ago? So, yeah. No, I'm not going to say that it's a poor scouting situation that we have. It's just that sometimes you may have a player who springs up out of nowhere that you don't even realize, and then you put them on the international stage and they have a good going like we're having with Joseph. So, don't agree.
Okay.
I think what he's trying to say is he's trying to say the coaches are not producing quality players, because he's saying Joseph is a man who did not came up through the regular ranks, and he's one of the best now in the world. So I think that's what he's trying to say. But I think that is just down to personal responsibility. Players not wanting to work hard.
You hit it on the head there, Bobby. While I know that coaches, you need good coaches to produce good players, players who take that responsibility on themselves can also be good. I am never one who is to blame administration, coaches, without blaming the players also. Because there's a saying, and they say you can take the cow to the water, but you cannot let the cow drink the water. If the player or players does not take that responsibility, it doesn't matter what the administration they do or whatsoever the coaches do. There comes a time when the players has to take responsibility. Mr. Phillips, I'm not here saying that we have the best coaches in the region. You're probably far from it, but I still think it also goes down to the responsibility of the players. Bobby, you're about to say something.
Yeah, and pertaining to Joseph, I don't remember if you remember when I told you, but when I heard Bishop said Joseph bowled so much that the coach has to tell him to stop, I know this boy was special. Because we don't have that here.
Yes.
Guys want to bowl for 5 overs and call it a day. The same thing with Sinclair. I heard that guys were complaining that Sinclair is training too hard. They were making fun of Sinclair.
Yeah, what's your reaction to those comments, Andre?
Yes,
just before your comment, you are striking up a fan base already. Jake is saying that he likes you, and I see Seafroy is saying that your comments are balanced. Go ahead, Andre.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yeah, we are in the era of T20 cricket where guys, can basically bowl 4 overs, go in the IPL, make a 500,000 for a 1 month work. So as a result of that, is what you call the broke bad syndrome here in Jamaica. You don't believe in putting the hard work because you can. And I'm going to use Shimron Hetmeyer as an example. I think Shimron Hetmeyer has increased his body mass by about 25 to 30% over the last 2 years. Why is that so? He can go to the IPL, work for 1 month, make $1.5 million, and basically do very little physical work. So as a result of that, he has put on a lot of weight. His farm has gone haywire. So is it era of T20 cricket where you're making quick money so persons don't believe that they have to put in the hard work? We need to change the culture in our team. Those guys that we see working hard, like the Kevin Sinclair, the Chamar Joseph, we need to promote those guys and use those guys as example for those others to come. So therefore, we set a culture in the team of hard work. One thing I like about Australian cricket and Indian cricket, I always say, it doesn't matter how much money our cricketers make. They will never be as rich as those guys. But look at their commitment to their national team. Look at their commitment even when they're playing franchise cricket. They believe in being professionals, working hard. When you go on the field to represent your country, you're representing your country. You must do that with pride no matter how much money you have. And that is a problem we're having Well, as far as I'm concerned, I'm having our people in the West Indies. The moment they get a few dollars, they feel like they're on top of the world. And we'll never be as rich as those cricketers. And they are very rich, but yet they are very committed to their national team. Why can't we do the same?
Thank you very much. Good points there, Bobby. Strong points
Yeah,
there.
just like you said, I always tell them that they will never be rich as those guys, and those guys are more committed than them.
Exactly.
So I don't understand what.
You know, Ian, I like this comment. I think you are trying. I interpreted what you disposed for you to mean that the selection is against Trinis. I do not necessarily agree, but I still, because all views are welcome and are respected, I like your post. But for one, Carrier was dropped, yes, but Akil was not dropped. Akil have not made himself available for the guy. And Bravo was not picked. So both of the three you got correct, but other countries, other persons from other countries can say the same thing about players from their country that was not selected here. So I take your point, I respect your point, but I don't think that there is any agenda against the Trinidadians in the squad. MPEC TV said that he replaced Thomas with Joseph and a batsman for Walsh. So MPEC is agreed with me that probably we should drop one of the bowlers. Now, gentlemen, finally, how would you go into this match at Sydney? Sydney is probably not as bouncy as Melbourne. What would your approach be? You want to go first, Andre?
Okay. So the approach at Sydney is one, we need to do a proper assessment of the wicket and make a determination what is a good total. So if we get the opportunity to bat first, after assessing the wicket, we need to strategize how we're going to go about scoring our runs. We cannot have a situation that each batsman is trying to attack the bowling from the beginning. If it's the case that you go out and you lose 2 or 3 quick wickets, somebody needs to anchor the innings. It's a 50-over game, not a 20-over game. So you have a lot more time where you can anchor the innings, rotate the strike up to about the 35 to the 38 over, and then do an attack. Then try to attack at the end. The batting position of the team, I do not feel comfortable when the coach or captain continuously push Shepherd down the order and try to bring others up ahead of him. It happened against England. It didn't affect us, but I think we should try and stick with the batting order. Express some confidence in the guys because they have performed at the highest level every now and then. Continue to express some confidence in them. So that would be my approach going forward. As I said, Hayden Walsh, you're out of the team. I'm so sorry that your return was so poor, but we have to make some decisions in the best interest of the team. So bring back Joseph, please.
Bobby?
Well, so far, in terms of the batting, everybody should have a role, and everybody should understand their role that they're playing. I'm disappointed in Mr. Athenaeus. Athenaeus need to bat more carefully as the opener. Shea Hope is pretty always plays his role. I don't know what happened the last match, but you're able to make mistakes. So far
he has not done well against Australia, but go ahead.
Yeah. And I see that he has some problem with bounce. And like you say, in Sydney, it will not be as bouncy as Melbourne. So I think he should be good. He has not done well against Australia, but I think over the last 2 years, he has grown immensely as a batsman. So, and he has really worked on his batsmanship. So I expect him, he looked really good last night. He threw away his wicket, so he could have got more runs. And so far as...
Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, and so far as the bowling, like MPEC TV says, Thomas could go for Joseph, and Walsh Jr. definitely for an ex-batsman. And once again, I'm disappointed in Thomas.
Okay. I just want to highlight this comment because because here all views are welcome, even if we disagree, you know. And so AR is saying what Junior was the third highest score in the match, and you all beat him up on demand because Carty was all watching. So I know that the vast majority of us do not agree with that comment. Our opinions on the matter differs from what AR is saying, but on this forum, we respect all views. So I just want to draw that and highlight that there's a different opinions from what most of us has as a consensus. I'm highlighting that. DJ, thank you for it. He said that the name is Graves and not Greaves, and we have been saying Greaves, but it's Graves and he's from Barbados. Thank you for that. We will make the adjustment forward. So we thank you for that. And Davey, yes, did say more bounce, or say lack of speed. So we are aware that the pitches in Australia tends to be faster than those in the Caribbean. We want to thank you all for being here. Please slash a like on the video and click on that subscribe button and share the content with your friends and ask them to subscribe. Have a good day, everyone. May God bless you. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Andre. Have a good day, gentlemen. All the best.
Yeah, man.